I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. Tender moments seem to go so fast. Reminisce, reminisce. I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. A love so strong it will never pass.
Love Park Connection.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
So you gonna talk?
Yeah, I'll come up with the topic today.
He's gonna come up with the topic today.
Yeah.
So I mean I know what it is, but sometimes things that come out his mouth. So just pray for me, y'all.
Okay.
But wait. Well, okay. What's the topic?
Well, the topic is going to be, like I said, it's going to be, it's going to be why people cheat in their relationships. Because there's a lot of different reasons why people do what they do.
Are you speaking from experience?
Am I?
I don't know. Are you?
No. No.
He better not be.
But I'm just going off of, no, I've had a lot of friends, you know, a lot of male friends who've gone through things, and
Okay.
hearing different reasons was always the interesting thing.
Well, see, I'd like to also know, and I can't speak from experience or even have anybody I can refer to why women cheat, because women do too. Women cheat in relationships in their marriage,
Women
but
cheat.
but I guess this is going to be more on the male side.
Well, it can be both.
I guess it can be.
It can be
yeah,
both.
It can be.
I mean, everybody has their own reasons for doing what they do in their relationship. Yeah, there's some that's just some flat out assholes.
That's one of your favorite words, huh?
No, that ain't.
No, it's not. Don't. No. No, ninja, no.
Oh, see.
But wait a minute. Before we get started, let
Yeah.
us introduce ourselves. Welcome to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships. My name is Angela Parker.
And I'm Pierre Parker.
We are a husband and wife marriage and relationship coaching duo. We've been married 28 years, together for over 30 years. And it is our goal to help couples communicate more, love more, and build healthy long-term relationships and marriages. So we go, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We greatly appreciate it. All right?
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Go on. So,
Anyway, go ahead, baby.
well, back to the whole cheating thing. You know, most of the time when you hear, you know, in marriages or relationships, you know, women be like, you know, such and such cheated, and he was just wrong, and it was just horrible, and this and this and that, and then they get to the, you know, F all men. This, you know what I'm saying? They go to that whole level. But I'd always wonder, have you ever really sat down and asked a person why? Because, like I said before, like I said a little while ago, yes, there's assholes out there, and it just, you know, they just do dumb shit.
Yeah.
But we never really analyze some of the stuff, because sometimes there's some things that a lot of women, a lot of times, they shut down a lot of stuff, and men deal with it, and they try to deal with it as much as possible. And then, you know, after a while, when they ain't going the right way, they end up, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with a woman.
Right.
A woman, she can sit there and be like, well, you know, they're not giving me the attention that I really want.
Or that connection, that emotional connection. Yeah.
That emotional connection.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, somebody else comes along and they saying the right words.
Yeah.
And, you know, and things happen.
Right.
But nobody ever wants to look at that stuff. They just think, oh, they cheated. That's it. They wrong. They need it. I'm divorcing you. Or, you know, their friends, you need to divorce him because he cheated on you. This and this and that. Well, maybe, like I said, maybe there's other things going on. Maybe in, you know, certain situations, maybe the man, maybe the woman, and it happens a lot, a woman is shut down on sex. A woman will shut down and be perfectly content.
Yeah.
And men, we're still testosterone stuff is still flowing and all of this stuff. And when a woman shuts down, a lot of times they're not thinking about the man. They're not thinking about how he feels. Now you got this man that's running around with all this testosterone. He wants to be with his wife and be with his woman, but she don't want to have nothing to do with him with sex. She just, she's cool. She's done. I don't want no sex. I'm cool. So
yeah, but okay. So, and again, we don't know the statistics, but how often then not will a wife, girl, whatever, in a long-term relationship just shut it all down?
I think it happens more than people really think.
Well, hold on.
What?
Maybe they're not shutting it all down, but maybe she's just saying, I don't want it every night, or 2 nights tops. So she's not necessarily shutting it all down.
No.
She might not be giving it, giving it to him as much as he wants, but then where's that balance? Because if she's going through her changes, she's older, she might be going through changes, then, and she's saying, okay, we can compromise, and that's not enough for him, then, that's a possibility too.
That's a possibility.
Because of course we don't know. We can only go by what in your case with your friends and the folks that you're talking about, that was it totally? Did she just shut it down all the way? I know in some cases that we've talked about with some of your male friends that she shut it down all the way, or they were living in 2 separate whatever.
Yeah.
But what about those that are like, okay, no, I'm not shutting it down all the way, but I don't want to do it every night. And let's do 2 nights a week. Let's compromise on 2-3 nights a week. And if that's still not enough for him, and then he still wants to go out and cheat, is that fair? I mean, are we still looking and blaming the woman?
No, I wouldn't say that, but that's where they, I guess, have to sit down and have a talk and see how much, like I said, this man may be high testosterone, and, a lot of times when men get to that point and they can't release that, get that testosterone out, and people will probably say, oh, that's bull, and that's just, nah. But no, it's a real thing. When a man has built up testosterone, he's more grumpy. He's, prone to be just, argumentative. He's just argumentative. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He can just be quick to snap off on things and all kind of stuff. It's just, just like you guys have your thing with when you're in your period and menopause and all these things, how you guys snap off on things. Well, yeah, man, if we don't release what we need to release, a lot of times that can be some of the reasons why we're grumpy and grouchy as hell. And we sitting up there, kids, get off my damn line. Get off my line.
Okay.
All that stuff, So we started lashing out at everybody because it's built up.
Okay. So that's one aspect of why a man might cheat. Is that the biggest reason, or is that the biggest reason, or are there other like emotional connections? Maybe she's not listening.
Yes, that can be. That's an emotional connection that can make a man cheat.
Okay.
If you got a woman that's constantly just telling him he ain't shit, or letting him feel like he's not shit, what I'm saying, and she's just verbally not supportive, verbally abusing him and just shooting him down and things like that. If another woman comes along that is not treating him like that is treating him like a nice person and cool and all that, he's probably going to tend to gravitate towards that person that's treating him right.
Oh, just like a woman would.
Just like a woman. Exactly. It's the same thing. So, like I keep saying, there's different reasons why people do what they do.
Yeah.
Same thing when women cheat, which is, you don't hear a lot about, it's a lot of women that cheat.
Right.
But you don't hear a lot about, y'all women just more sneaky. Y'all real good with it. No. But I'm just saying, a lot of reasons when women do it, and it's funny because when women do it, then it's like women, y'all women be like, girl, I guess you had to do what you had to do, girl. You had to, I understand. But if a man do it, it's like, he ain't shit. He ain't shit. All men ain't shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? but women damn near cheat just as much as men.
Oh, no.
I said damn near.
I'm saying I need to see the statistics.
Damn near.
Well, yeah, because I agree, because women do need that. It's most of the time it's not about the sex. It's about that emotional connection. Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm wondering, we've heard this before. Sometimes that's even more dangerous.
Yeah.
When a woman, because we do get emotionally attached.
Yep.
And especially, if he's, like you said, saying the right things.
Yep.
And then sex is involved, then it's, there's that connection that, it can make things a little more complicated than, like you said, with men.
Yeah.
It's usually just like, okay, I did what I had to do, and there's no, for the most part, no connection.
Not saying that men can't get emotionally connected to someone else,
right?
But a lot of times, men could go and just get their rocks off and be cool,
right?
They don't necessarily have to be like, I got my rocks off. I'm cool for now,
right?
For a minute, but no, but it'd be like, I'm cool. It don't have to be an emotional thing.
Right.
Don't have to be that. Oh, I love her. Oh, I love two people now. Oh shit.
Hey, no. Well, back in the day, they had two families.
Well, back in the day, yeah, I had a couple uncles that had two families. A family on each side of the town. I don't know how you did that. It's hard having one. It's hard having one wife. Why would you want more than one wife?
Right. Two separate families you got to support. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Two separate sets of kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So when men feel the need to cheat for whatever the reason is, do you think that they have that sense of guilt?
Yeah, I'm sure they have that sense of guilt. But at the time, they don't. At the time, they just probably like, no, I'm getting my rocks off. Or I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. But, yeah, I'm sure the guilt sets in. Mm-hmm. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not.
Why are you looking at me like that? What you trying to say?
I'm not. No, I don't mean anything like that. But because like I said, I think about some of your friends that you've told me about, and it just I don't know it. And I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, that it's like, did you talk to your wife? Did you have a conversation? What was her response in that conversation? And I know you don't know, because you don't know what they were, what type of conversation they might have had. But again, as a husband, are you having that conversation with your wife and saying, look, this is what's going on? And if you are, did she just totally shoot you down and say, I don't care about your feelings? Because I can't imagine, as being a wife, I can't imagine you coming to me and you saying, look, these are my needs, A, B, C, and D, and I totally shoot you down. Because unless you're already having problems in your marriage, and you're coming to your wife being open and honest and saying, these are my needs, and I don't feel my needs are being met, can we compromise, can we talk about this, that your wife, who is supposed to love you, is just going to totally shoot you down.
There's some that will, just like there's some men that will.
No, I know there's some that will, but I'm saying the amount of men that cheat in their marriages, how many of those men are really openly talking to their wives about their needs instead of just going off and just, well, you know what, I'm just going to do it because this is what I need. Are we really having that discussion?
I don't know. You might not be. But also, you got to also look at, they also probably know their wives really well. Some of them, if you probably brought something like that to their attention, you might have the woman like my buddy's ex-wife who eyes turned black.
But they were already having
mad.
problems. I'm saying they were already having problems.
Well, no, not before they was having problems. So she was just that type of person.
Okay.
She was just, real jealous or just get mad. Or if they were walking out and he looked in another woman's direction, then she'd get mad.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, the communication, like we always talk about, there's that communication piece of it.
Yeah.
And if the man is not, and I'm not saying they are or are not, I don't know, but if the man is not giving that open communication with his wife, and his wife doesn't really understand how this is impacting him, and especially whether we're talking about physically, emotionally, whatever, if he's not giving her the opportunity by talking to her about what's going on with him physically or emotionally, then how can you hold her accountable if she doesn't really know?
No.
And so if she doesn't really know, and then he goes off and cheats, then he's not the one, he hasn't been the one communicating. Yes.
But maybe he knows by her actions that she's done in the past.
Again, just because she's done something in the past doesn't mean she won't be willing to listen if he comes and says, look, this is really what's going on. Now, if he's already had the conversation with her, okay, I can understand. But if there hasn't been a conversation, how does she know what he's feeling? And vice versa. If the woman is feeling like, hey, I'm not being heard, I'm not being, he's not, responsive, I'm not getting that emotional connection that I need, and she hasn't verbalized that to him, she hasn't communicated that to him, then how can, she be mad at him if he's not giving her what he needs? There has to be that open dialogue.
Well, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that. There does have to be that open dialogue. But like I was saying, if he knows his wife,
right,
like he should, and he knows that she gets real hot over the smallest little things.
But that, okay, but that's still fine. I understand what you're saying, but when we're talking about cheating, and you aren't giving your wife might get mad about, you saying something about the dishes or dinner or something like whatever. But when we're talking about this and he hasn't communicated his needs, with her, and then he says, well, because she acted this way, when I discussed this topic with her, then I know she's going to act another way. She's going to act the same way when I discuss how I'm feeling emotionally.
But you usually gauge how you're going to talk to somebody.
But don't you still, in a relationship, especially if you want your relationship to grow, don't you still take that time?
Well, yeah, you should try. Yeah, you should take that
especially
time. Especially
something like that's this important.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying there are times when, guys would probably be like, yeah, I can't talk to her about this. And it's the same thing with, like I always say.
Then go get some coaching or therapy. It's both sides.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with women. There's a lot of women out there that, got assholes for guys. Look, I'm always hitting on my guys. But assholes.
If the guys are assholes, and I guess I'm trying to separate the two. If your husband or your wife is an asshole, or and your wife is, I don't know if we can say the word, bitch, I don't know. I don't know I don't know the algorithms on YouTube. Whatever. So I don't need a community violation. But yes, if you know that about your spouse, then that's one thing. If your spouse is that type of person, yes, it might be hard to have the conversation. But if your spouse is not that type of person, if you and your spouse have a relatively good relationship, but this is just part of the breakdown in your relationship, then I think that conversation should be had before you just go out and say, you know what, I'm going to give me a little piece of, you know what, over here.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Ted at work was looking at me and he's, you know, he thought I was pretty. And I'm going to go over here with Ted because he gives me the attention. He brings me coffee and donuts.
And his name is Ted.
And his name is Ted.
Ted.
But I'm just saying, that's where I have a problem. That's where in my brain I have a problem, because it's like you haven't given your spouse the opportunity to try and fix the problem in the relationship.
Well, yeah, and that's why I said yes. I agree that you should talk. Definitely, you gotta. Once we all, like we always say, communication.
Right.
You should try to talk and see what you can do. But in some cases, like we know. Some of my buddies, in some cases, that wasn't going to work, wasn't going to help. Especially the one when she went away to another state to go live. And
then that's that.
After what? They was married for a year?
Yeah.
And,
well, then that relates, but in that case, that marriage, unfortunately, unless they really wanted to both be in that relationship, should have gotten some kind of therapy or coaching. Yeah. Otherwise, it sounded like it was just going to be doomed anyway.
Well, yeah.
So, you know, there are situations where, talking to your spouse is not going to work, but then in those cases, is it just because maybe this marriage or relationship has run its course?
Who knows? But bottom line is, you end up hearing that this guy cheated.
Yeah, you're right.
And now all of a sudden, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
But like I said, you didn't look into it, the real reason of why he did what he did, or why she did what she did.
Right.
And I think that's the problem what we have right now is everybody when they hear that, oh, such and such cheated in their relationship, cheated on his wife. And then you hear the women that's like, I don't understand why she's still with him. She should have left him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's a reason why. And maybe they actually did talk after the whole thing and got an understanding and found out why he did what he did.
Right. Or why she did what she did.
Or why she did what she did. And they were like, okay, I should have. I didn't think about that.
Right.
I didn't think about your feelings on this here. Like I said, there's a lot of things. I mean, think about it. Women, after they have babies, women shut down a lot of times on the intimacy and the sex and all that stuff.
Right.
And we as men, we try to understand it because we know, having a baby, your body goes through
hell.
Yes,
it's traumatic.
Your body goes through hell.
Yeah.
Oh, being in the delivery room changed me dramatically. Oh, Lord. Look, I can never say that men can endure pain more than women. That's a goddamn lie. But I'm just saying, we understand that, well, a lot of us men understand that, yes, you guys go through a hell of a lot.
Right.
And yeah, you guys get to the point where you don't want to have sex and you're not feeling sexy. You're not any of that stuff. Sex is something you definitely ain't even trying to think of.
Right.
But you have to understand that your other part of you, which is your husband, nothing's changed for him.
Right.
He's still, sexually active and still has all of these hormones and all of this stuff going through him.
Right.
So you can't expect him to shut it down like you did. You see what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying, but I can't expect. I can't expect that he would at least communicate what's going on.
Well, yes. I'm not saying not to communicate.
Okay.
But
okay.
I'm just saying.
And I guess that's the biggest thing with me. Yes. If you have your needs as a man, I understand, but if you're not communicating that with your partner, and you're not being honest and vulnerable with your partner, then you you've kind of not giving your partner that chance to say, okay, let me try and figure out how we can fix it.
Yeah.
In the case of like if a woman, like you said, had a baby, yeah, she's not thinking about that. You know, she's got to trying to get herself back together emotionally, physically. You need to heal.
Yeah.
But if you don't give her or him that opportunity to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, I understand. Let's try and compromise on this. Let's compromise on what I can do to satisfy your needs. And then, if you don't do that, that's where I have a problem with the man or the woman will say, well, I'm just going to go. She's not going to give it to me. I haven't talked to her about it. I haven't expressed my needs, but I already know she's not going to give me, what I need. So I'm going to go out and get it over here from, little Becky down the street here. That's all I'm saying is that there has to be a communication.
Yeah, I agree that there has to be a communication somewhere.
Somewhere. I mean, even if it's a letter, shit, write a letter.
Yeah.
Oh, do people write letters anymore?
I don't know.
Okay, type a letter. Don't send a text.
No, you said type a letter. Don't nobody type no more.
You type on a computer.
Whatever.
You type on a computer. I'm not talking about what a typewriter.
Look, that's about to be becoming obsolete now too. You got Siri and Google. Google here. Just say blah 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 blah. Siri.
Just
say
don't
blah, blah, blah.
text. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Just don't send a text. I mean, that's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Have a conversation.
A lost start.
That is a lost start. We got to get back to learning how to have conversations.
Yes.
And not always being up in our feelings. There's nothing wrong with having feelings. And expressing your feelings, but being all up in your feelings.
Yes.
That's another, that's
a no-no.
That I'm not going to say a no-no. It's just a matter of trying to,
I say it's a no-no. Don't be all up in your feelings.
Well.
But.
Anyway.
But back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
That's just one thing. A lot of times when I hear, such and such cheated, instead of me jumping to the conclusion of, he was wrong, he was wrong or anything like that, or she was wrong. My thing is to
what happened?
What happened? What is, what's
his side? What's the
it?
Reason behind it?
There's always a reason behind it. And like I said,
it might not always be a valid reason.
No, that's what I was about to say. Like I said, it could be just assholes. He could be an asshole. He just be like, she was cool over there. She looked cool. I'm going to go on over there and talk to her and do what I'm going to do with her over there. And she won't never know over here. My wife won't never know.
Right.
No, that's assholes. That's assholes. And that happens. But it also happens on women, too.
Oh, yeah.
With women. So, but that's the thing I'm trying to get people to understand as well is, like I said, when anytime something is mentioned about cheating, the first thing that people say is, oh, he was wrong.
Yeah.
He was wrong. What'd he do? Why he do that?
Right.
But
the one thing I do like that you said is instead of saying, one, what did he do? You also don't blame the other person and say, oh, what did she do? Or, you look at it from the perspective of, so what happened? Why did it come to this? You're not placing blame on either one.
Yeah.
In your own head, when you're processing it in your own head, you're saying, okay, what was the reason behind it?
Yeah.
It might not be a valid reason.
Might not be.
But at least you're asking that question instead of automatically assuming that one or the other is at fault.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that makes sense.
It
and
does.
then, if you're able to get that information, then after that, you can kind of figure out, okay, well, no, he is just an asshole. And she was doing everything that, doing everything that she could possibly do, or he was doing everything he could possibly do.
Yeah.
And, but I hear what you're saying. Ask that question instead of automatically jumping to, oh, he's an asshole or she's an asshole, and they were both, they were wrong.
Yeah, so. And then also it goes into the other thing that we were just one of the topics that we were mentioning was kind of like, why do people stay, with the person in a marriage,
right,
when they've cheated.
Right.
You know,
Especially if they're serial cheaters. That's always been my,
yeah, that's the crazy thing.
yeah.
But like I said, in those cases,
Right.
see, some of those cases could be what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
but we don't know that.
No,
you know,
we
people
don't.
just look at it and say, "She stayed with him.
Right. Right.
Why did she stay with him? He
Right.
cheated."
Right.
You know, but it's like you don't know the circumstances.
Right.
It could have been what we were talking about, and then maybe she had just had a baby and all of these different things and all these circumstances. That's what we don't look at none of that stuff.
No.
We just go straight to that nigga was wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or she was wrong. She shouldn't have cheated. Or, we don't go to the reasoning why. There's always a reason. Now,
Yeah.
whether it's a valid reason or
Yeah, that's another story. Exactly.
That's another story. And then also, some people are still going to be like, even if you tell them a valid reason like that, it's so ingrained in our heads
Right.
that you shouldn't cheat. When you cheat, it's so wrong.
Right.
People
that there's no forgiveness.
There's no forgiveness
Right.
and no
Working through it.
well, not working through it, but trying to understand the other side.
Right.
Like I said, it's just go straight to go of you just an asshole, you fucked up.
Right.
You wrong. So no, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you hear that stuff about people cheating, think about that. There's a reason why people did what they did.
Yeah.
Like I said, and with men, it could be all kind of stuff.
Right.
It's not always just because he's a dog and he wanted to just be with another woman, and all that stuff. It's not just always that. There's other reasons.
Yeah.
And of course we know with women too.
Yep.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, you done said a whole mouthful today.
I said a whole mouthful. Look, you're going to have a bunch of people in there talking about that nigga cheating on her. That's why he brought
Right,
this
that's
up.
why he brought it
He
up.
brought it up because he cheating on her.
He trying to tell her on YouTube.
Yeah,
and-
nah. For those of you who are thinking that, y'all ain't shit. No, that ain't it. Anyway.
Okay. Well, no, this was a good topic.
This is a good one.
This is a good one.
Look,
Look at you.
Any other little tips you want? Look, like you always ask me.
Any words of wisdom?
Wisdom and little tips you want to give.
I would say that, and I'll keep reiterating it, that if there are problems in your relationship or your marriage, you have to talk about it. And if you two can't come together and talk and hear each other and listen to each other, truly listen to understand what your partner's trying to say, then get coaching, get therapy. But you guys need to talk it out, and you guys need to be able to listen to one another without, hopefully, as best you can, without the judgment, without the hurt feelings, and just get an understanding of what your partner is trying to say. And hopefully you guys can work through, whatever the issue is. But talking and communicating is one of the pillars, one of the keys of a healthy relationship. And we're going to say this until the cows come home, because that really is. If you can't communicate authentically with each other, then you cannot build and sustain a healthy and strong relationship. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
That's your tip and your
That's
2
my
cents.
tip.
Go on, that's a good one, baby. You did all right.
Anyway,
all right.
Thank you guys for joining us. Please, again, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. My book, 30 Years and Counting, is up on our website, lovepartconnection.com. It will be in the description below. Please pick up a copy. You can get it on ebook or paperback, again, at lovepartconnection.com. And I think that's it for today.
That's it.
All right, we're out, you guys. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.